Welcome to the Android Guys in Brief podcast, the 15-minute tech news podcast that never lasts for just 15 minutes. Today is Thursday, May 24th. My name is Matt Adams, and I'll be your host today. And alongside me, we have Scott Webster, founder and editor-in-chief of Android Guys. How you doing today, Scott?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you, Matt?
Can't complain. It's almost Friday, almost the weekend. Looking forward to that.
4-day weekend.
4-day weekend? No. We don't do that around here. It's all tech news all the time.
Yeah, right. I'm out for 4 days. Hopefully everything works well.
Somebody's got to keep the lights on around here, so I guess that'll be up to me.
Sorry.
All right, let's jump into it. This is the topic that everyone in the Android world has been talking about this week. YouTube Music finally starting to roll out. We got a press release last week from Google saying that last Tuesday, the 22nd, we would expect to see Google Music or YouTube Music start to roll out. And it's been slow. There's only been a handful of people that have seen it. We know it's a staged rollout. But we did get some news yesterday, courtesy of The Verge. Google Play Music, the current music service offered by Google, some of those features that people love from Google Play Music, they're eventually going to end up in YouTube Music. These include user uploads, which, if you don't know what that is, you can take your own music tracks that you have saved on your computer, upload them to Google Play Music, and have them right there, stream them anytime you want. Right now, there's a limit of like 50,000, which, when you think about it, that's a ton of music. But eventually, we will see the ability to do that in Google or in YouTube Music. I'm going to keep saying Google Music for some reason. We'll see that roll out to YouTube Music, and the songs that you've already uploaded will migrate over to that service. Now, The Verge did give us a little bit of details on this based on the product manager that they talked to about it. What's going to happen is if a song doesn't already exist in the YouTube Music sphere, you're going to be able to upload your own song. If it does exist already, you're going to have to play it through them, which, when you think about it, not that big of a deal. But we're also going to see some of people's other favorite service or favorite features roll over. A lot of people have purchased music through Google Play Music, me included. You'll get those rights on YouTube Music as well. It's also going to bring over your custom playlists and the preferences you already have set. So a lot of people were worried about how that transition was going to go, where they're just going to get thrown into a brand new service. But it looks like it'll be a pretty smooth transition, and that transition won't be coming for a while, because Google's timeline right now, it looks like we won't even be migrating a lot of the services over until 2019. And The Verge even said that Google's really not in any huge rush to get that done, so that may actually slide. And one other note before we get off this topic, the YouTube product manager, Elias Roman, or YouTube Music product manager, said that this service will also support sideloading, which means you can play locally stored tracks from your phone through the service. That's a little different than uploading them to Google or to YouTube in the first place, than having to stream it. You can just play whatever you have saved right there on your phone. So everyone remembers loading down your phone with 500 of your favorite songs and playing them right there and not having to use the internet. So the people that still partake in that, you'll have that option. So while there's a lot of anxiety around YouTube doing this from Google Play Music subscribers, and I'm definitely one of them, looks like they have a pretty good plan set out, and they're not going to push anyone too fast.
Gotcha. So for me, I'm a Google Play Music subscriber. I've been since I think it was maybe beta launched, but when they first rolled it out, I was on the $7.99 plan. I've lived in Google Play Music since then. I've since migrated over to a family plan, shared it with a couple of other members of the family. I know that kids love YouTube and YouTube Music, and they listen to music, watch videos, and there's tons of videos that are just lyrics, or no audio or no video or visuals to go with it. I don't know what's going on. It's a confusing thing for me. I don't know if it's just because I'm not in that ecosystem like the kids are, or the younger people. I don't know why people kind of go to YouTube for music, but it is what it is. I mean, it's going to happen if it's going to go out slowly, as long as I don't lose the features. I don't care what you call it. I don't care where you put it. I'm okay with, eventually everything being in YouTube music, or calling it that, as long as I get the playlists, the stuff that I've already kind of uploaded, curated, things that I've kind of shared. I don't want to lose access to that. So that'll be fun to watch over the next, I imagine, year. Topic 2. So for the first time, Google has topped Amazon in the smart speaker shipping for the quarter. According to Canalys, there were 9 million speakers sold in the first quarter of the year. That's up 210%. And for the first time, Google has taken the top spot. They have shipped 3.2 million units. And Amazon has dropped to second with 2.5 million. Still, those are huge numbers. Rounding things out, Alibaba came in third. They have 1.1 million of their smart speaker. That's in China. And then Xiaomi came in fourth with 600,000, or a little over 500,000 of its own AI speakers. So lots of people are buying these things. Matt, do you have a smart speaker?
I do. We have, in our little apartment, we have 3 Google Home Minis. I'm right now in the process of reviewing the Ultimate Ears, or UE Mega Blast, and that has Alexa built in. So we got speakers everywhere. Back at our other place, we have a Google Home in every room, and smart, lights, and so we're definitely a large
problem.
we're a large percent of that 9 million that was shipped last quarter. But yeah, that's actually really impressive considering the lead that Amazon had on Google Home. They were out first, and they were ultra popular.
Mm-hmm.
So
what do you think driving the Google? Is it because of the technology, because of price point, because they're throwing them free with different products? I know, when I got some appliances, kitchen appliances back in the fall at Best Buy, they were giving Google Home out to anybody that spent over a certain dollar amount. I'm sure those count towards the shipments. Why Google? What's so appealing?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything that you just mentioned. Now, we have to point out this is shipments, not sales. So Google didn't sell 3.2 million. They shipped 3.2 million. And I think a part of that is exactly what you just mentioned. These are given away free when you get a Google Pixel. You go to Best Buy, they'll hook you up with one for free if you buy appliances. There's a ton of places that are throwing these in. Plus, they're so cheap.
Right.
They were $35 for the end of the year last year around Christmas. They're still really not that much more expensive than that. I think they're still just like $50 now. Mm-hmm. And that is to get Google Assistant on a speaker. $50, I think, is a steal. We use it every day, all the time. My daughter is 6 and in school, and asks Google all the time for spelling, how to spell a word, and to play music, like you were talking about earlier with YouTube music. She's totally into that. So I think it's a really attractive proposition right now. And I think Google Assistant is more approachable than Alexa, just based on what you see in the public.
Right.
But that's, I think everyone has their own opinion on that one.
Yeah. Well, Assistant continues to get better. And I think that's something that, is in the public consciousness. People tend to learn through osmosis some of the stuff that Google's doing, not so much from Amazon. You have to kind of follow that space a little closer. But Google their stuff tends to roll out and people are kind of wowed by it or discover it on their own. Amazon is a different story. You kind of have to pay a little bit closer attention to what they do with their product announcements, and what Alexa does. I mean, there's a lot that people know that Google can do, but I've asked other friends, what does Alexa do? Like
Mhm.
I assume it does this or that, so it's Google has that benefit. Speaking of which, topic 3.
Yeah, Google is now rolling out some new features for Google Lens. These were announced just a little bit ago, a couple weeks ago at Google I/O. And Google Lens has been around for a little bit now, but these new features are really, really cool. We have real-time object tracking, and basically what that does is you can hold your phone up and use the camera app, open up Google Lens, or you can open it up through Google Assistant too. And Lens will actually take what's on your screen and let you select the text that you see. So if you're looking at like a phone number or a Wi-Fi password or something like that, you can actually select that text and paste it wherever. Or it's doing a lot more of the product matching that we've seen. It's giving you a lot of options to go in and, if you see a cool jacket on one of your favorite, stars on TV, snap a picture of it, go in, and you can actually find a place to buy that if it's on sale. So those things are what make me feel like we're living in the future. I don't know about you, but that stuff is really awesome to me.
No, I agree. I think that what was it? Amazon, was it Firefly? The name of their stuff that they did, where you were able to
Yeah,
take a
that sounds right.
picture and see a physical product. You can pull it up to see a book or a magazine or something like that, to have your camera just kind of look at something and identify it. It's crazy. I mean, but to be able to do it like what Google's doing now is just to kind of extract text, that if you just need a phone number from something, or the real-time translation of things, and just being able to hold your phone up and use the camera, not just for pictures but for like practical things. Like
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what the name of those shoes are, or I wonder where they got those, or I want to get a set of those myself. That's really cool. That's something that I think you can't really explain to people. They have to kind of experience it, and it's it's awesome stuff, man. I think that when you get Google I/O and they demo stuff, and it might take a couple of weeks, couple of months before it shows up, but when it rolls out, there's just some really neat things that they do that just continue to endear me to them. If I think I said that right, but uh, I just look at it and go, man, how do you walk away from that? How do you get out
Right.
of that ecosystem? How do you live somewhere else? You know, I'm beholden to them.
I'm definitely a lover of both Android and iOS, but every time Google has a trade show or something, it always seems like I'm back on my Android phone within a couple of weeks because the stuff that they show off is so cool.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, we've talked about duplex, making calls and stuff like that, but the little features like this that kind of slide under the radar from that big news is, I mean, these are meaningful features that people really enjoy. And I think Google Lens is catching on. It's not quite there yet because you basically have to think about how you're using your phone and how it relates
mm-hmm.
to the real world. Because my first instinct when I see something like a phone number or like that or a Wi-Fi password, I don't think to whip my phone out and do that. So
Right.
you kind of have to retrain yourself to the technology. But Google's making it so easy that I think that it's an easy adoption process for a lot of people once they actually start thinking about it.
Right. No, same thing. If I see something that's a phone number or a sign or something, and I want to just pull the number off the call, I'm just going to look at it, type the number in, or I'm going
Yeah.
to take a picture of it, and I'm just going to kind of hop back and forth between the photo and the text or whatever I need. But to have it kind of automatically do that for me, that's going to be one of those I have to get used to what it can do for me, and think in terms of what's it trying to do. And, it makes you wonder where Google Glass would be now if they had something where you can look at something and identify and extract, or to be able to pull something up. I don't know if it would be any better or worse, but pour one out for Google Glass.
Yeah, I was such a big fan of that too. I wanted that to work so bad, and I think you see the vision of Google Glass in some of the things like Lens now.
Yeah.
The fact that they can do this with your phone, it makes me wonder if they ever will go back to a product like that and try to actually make it work.
Yeah. Especially with Wear OS, having that now. It's like maybe that's just a more intuitive way of having things. I don't know.
All right. Well, that'll wrap it up for this episode. This has been Android Guys in Brief, the tech podcast that never lasts for just 15 minutes. You can catch us. What?
We might this time.
Yeah. Man. All right. Well, you can catch us on AndroidGuys.com, where we will be discussing many of the same topics that we talked about today. You can also find us in all of the major places you get podcasts now. So find your favorite one, go subscribe, listen to us whenever we post a new podcast. Thanks for tuning in.